Hello and welcome back. In this time, I'm going to start what is peer review and what is visual peer review, and I'll try to make more sense why is your professor so obsessed with that. So the idea of peer review is usually provide feedback based on the work that your peer did and be able to provide more insight to it. So it's allowed us to evaluate the peer contribution as a group and give us more feedback in order for us to improve our work. What did you currently use peer review? So I hope that many of you have taken English classes that ask you to write an essay where you receive peer review by your peers in your writing. But it has been in my field, it has been for a long time. Example, when I submit a manuscript for publication, it usually goes through peer review, and the peer review determine if my publication is good or bad. When I used to be a programmer, one of the things that we used to do is give the code to my boss, and the boss would put together a group of people who will review your code and be able to say, is that code is good or is it bad? What is it the essence and how can we improve that? So the benefit of peer review is the idea is give you feedback in order for you to evaluate more. It's not only the professor, but it's also your peers. So it is part of the code. Example, as I introduce you to GitHub, one of the things that GitHub nowadays allowed us to do is to provide you to add comments to the code itself. So everything that we do nowadays, like Facebook, we get comments, and peer review is part of this practice that we often use. So the challenge for peer review, you as a student, the fairness of the peer marks. I might be biased as an instructor. Might have your peers might have uncomfortable situation or might highlight things that you are not comfortable, which might be a problem. But I want you to be open to it, and it can be also negative. So the issue is that they will give you additional comments that me as the instructor often do not do, or give you additional element that it is part of your appreciation or understanding to your work. The more people see your work before you publish it, the better you are, and it is more eyes that make sure that your work is worth it and validate. So this is something that it is important. One of the things that it is important to me in this class is the time of the comment. I don't want you to review your work, your peer review work 2 months after the end of the class. I want you to do that after each assignment in order for you to get more involved and get more feedback in order. So there's a process in the peer review idea of the rubric, and I will explain what is a rubric in a few seconds. But there is a ability to, I will consider it, I will look ahead when you give your students peer review. If you will get good comments, that will be part of your grade, and you will be able to address that and be able to revise your work in order for you to do a better job. So why is it the most useful part of the peer review? What is the most useful part of the review is the idea of getting comments, to understanding what other people see that you as the creator don't see. And again, this is common from students. This is my own comments. I think this is important because, again, visualization do not have a grammar. They do not teach us in high school or in elementary school, they did not teach us how to read the visualization. And so this is a challenge, and I hope the peer review will give you idea what it is and how to do that. So basically, the interface is that you will post your work and you will receive comment as you see in the idea. One of the things that I will try to implement is a rubric. Rubric is the idea that I will break down the assignment based on a criteria. Example, does the visual give a clear detail and labels to everything entail? So in this example, the person got a high marks on the clear and detailed text in order for you to provide more accurate reading on it. In this assignment, the rubric will be very clear. Is it clear detail with a title? Is it has a lie factor? Does it has junk? And I will talk what is a junk is. And is it best practice was used? So the idea of the two principles is by the visual historian Taft, and we will see his presentation in the coming modules about how he looks at history, what the history means, what the history tell us about visual and how they apply that. So one of the things that he came up with, the idea of a lie factor. The side effect shows in the graphic and the side of the effect in data. This is something that is really important because are you displaying the same proportion as the real data means? In this example, he shows in the his textbook is a bad visualization. It's a lie visualization because we don't know exactly what's going on. And in one side, there is the year, and the other one is a percentage, and we do not know exactly how it feels. So there is a lie going on, and I will show you more lies as we go along and how we are treating that in visualization. Another themes that he came up with is called junk. And idea is that in this case, in this example, I don't know what's going on here, and I don't understand what does it entail. And even though we have label of the x's and the y, it still does not help us to understand what is why does the creator of the visualization use this graphic element in order for it to display. So again, the issue of junk is really important, and I want you to have a comprehension of it in order for you to avoid that. So I use in this example, I use the Lauren Kinhode useful graphic intels about the integrity and redesign in order for you to follow Taft principles as we are doing with our textbook. So this is it. What you're going to see is in the end, you're going to see a peer review. You will be asked to evaluate your peers in order for you to improve and to have better visualization. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you see the points of it. And until next time, have fun.